only guy in Ocala to eat his own weight in fried pickles. Twice. Now, you asked for it. Sorta. Live and in person, it's Tom Schmitz.
Welcome back to Ocala Talks. Election day is tomorrow. And this year you've heard repeatedly that Pennsylvania, Florida, and Wisconsin are the so-called swing states. They're the most likely to flip from who they voted for in 2016, which is President Donald Trump. That's why campaigns are focusing so heavily on those states. I mean, it seems like Joe Biden and Donald Trump have taken up residency in the state of Florida in the last week. And why do they do that? Well, it's the Electoral College. In each presidential election, there are 538 electoral votes up for grabs. A candidate must get a simple majority, 270 votes, in order to win the presidency. That's, it's half plus one. Electors, the pre-designated people in each state who cast these votes, are allotted to states based on the total population and amount of congressional districts. A brief history of the Electoral College. It was devised at the Constitutional Convention in 1787. It was a compromise between those who wanted direct popular elections for president and those who preferred to have Congress decide. At the time of little national identity and competition among states, there were concerns that people would favor their regional candidates and that big states with denser populations would dominate the vote. I will tell you, Hillary Clinton won the popular vote by 3 million votes. She beat Donald Trump by 2 million votes in California. She beat Donald Trump by 1 million votes in New York. 3 million votes. He won in a landslide, electoral-wise, but she won popular vote because she outdistanced him by 3 million in New York and California. Do you want New York and California to tell the rest of the country how to live? The Electoral College makes sure that doesn't happen. The Electoral College has 538 members with the number allotted to each state based on how many representatives it has in the House plus its 2 senators. To be elected president, like I said, the winner must get half plus one. This hybrid system means that more weight is given to a single vote in a small state than the vote of someone in a large state, leading to outcomes at times that have been at odds with the popular vote. In fact, part of the presidential candidate's campaigning strategy is drawing a map of states. The candidate must be able to gather the 270 electoral votes. Now, here's the problem. Who are the electors? While the U.S. Constitution offers little guidance to who can be an elector, it does contain strict regulations as who does not qualify for the position. Article 2, Section 1, Clause 2 of the U.S. Constitution provides that no senator or representative or person holding an office of trust or profit under the United States shall be appointed an elector. It's a 2-part process when choosing an elector. The first part of the process, which varies from state to state, like I said, each state decides how it does its own elections, consists of statewide political parties selecting a slate of possible electors by either nomination at party convention or by a procedural vote from the party's central committee. Electors are often high-ranking members of either political party chosen to honor their service to the government. The second part of the process occurs during the state's general elections when voters cast their ballots for president. They are also selecting the state's electors to represent their vote in the Electoral College. Since electors are allocated to states based on the total population and amount of congressional districts, states have widely varying amounts of electoral votes. For example, a state with a small population such as Wyoming, the least populous state with just over 500,000 people, they have 3 electors. California, the most heavily populated state with over 39 million people, has the most in the country at 55 electors. Now, that's where it is, but how does it actually work? The Electoral College means that voters do not cast their ballots directly for president. Instead, they choose electors to vote on their behalf. Individual states get to choose how to allocate the final electoral vote in presidential elections, and most have opted for the winner-take-all system. In these states, which include 48 of the U.S. states and Washington, D.C., whoever wins the popular or people's vote wins all the electoral votes as well. Say a candidate barely scraped by in California with 51% of the people's vote. All 55 of that state's electors will go to that candidate. 2 states, Maine and Nebraska, have chosen a different system. called the congressional district system, the candidate who wins the state's popular vote receives 2 electoral votes, with the remaining votes, 2 in Maine, 3 in Nebraska, allocated to the popular vote winner in each congressional district. This more complex system can and has led to the 2 states ultimately giving out electoral votes to more than one candidate. In 2008, then-candidate John McCain won Nebraska's popular statewide vote, as well as 2 of the state's 3 districts, securing 3 electoral votes. But McCain's opponent, Barack Obama, won the popular vote in Nebraska's 2 congressional districts, thus becoming the first Democrat to secure an electoral vote in that state since 1964. In 2016, Donald Trump similarly secured the popular vote in Maine's 2nd congressional district, gaining an extra electoral vote for him to win. So the Electoral College, what it does, it makes sure that big states with large populations can't dictate to smaller states with smaller populations, to other states with smaller populations, what's going on in national government. It means that the state of Wyoming, even though it has a little over 500,000 people, is just as important on a national scale as the state of California is. You go, well, why, Tom? California has more people. Not my problem. 50 united states. They all are on equal footing. That's what the Electoral College does. It gives an equal footing to all 50 united states. It doesn't mean one state is more important than another state. That's why it's needed. And by the way, the Democrats don't like the Electoral College. The Republicans do. Because Donald Trump lost the popular vote, but he won the Electoral College. So the Republicans love it. Believe me, if the shoe was on the other foot, the Republicans would hate it and the Democrats would love it. It's all about winning and losing. And Hillary Clinton won the popular vote, but she won the popular vote overwhelmingly in the 2 biggest states population-wise in the Union, California and New York. The Electoral College made sure that California and New York aren't more important than Wyoming and Idaho. But, Tom, they should be. There's more people. Not how it's designed. It's 50 equal United States. Now, say what you want about the founding forefathers and how they come up with the system and how they counted population back then and the antiquated system. Look, it was a bunch of slave owners back then. We know that. We know the history. If you don't know the history, go read a book. The document, however, has stood the test of time and has been amended to right some of the wrongs that the founding forefathers put in there. The Electoral College makes sure that the people of Wyoming, the state of Wyoming, have the exact same voice on a national level as the people of California. Just because there's more people don't mean their voice means more. Each state is on equal footing with every other state in the Union. That's what the Electoral College does. It puts an even playing field for everybody where all 50 states are considered equal, instead of the more populous states being the bigger, better, badder states, and the little states are like, well, we don't like you, you're too small. It makes every state, no matter what your population, it gives you equal footing in the electoral process. Now, it does give you more electorates if you in California than in other states, so that helps. Sorry, caller, we're up against a break. If you'll call back after the break, I'll sure to get you in, but you're calling up against a break. You're listening to 1370 AM, 96.3 FM, WOCA, The Source.
Broadcasting from the Paddock Mall Studios, this is WOCA, Ocala, Gainesville, The Villages, 1370 AM, 96.3 FM, The Source.
USA Radio News with Lance Pry.
President Trump is scheduled to hold 5 rallies in North Carolina, Pennsylvania, Michigan, and Wisconsin Monday. His Democratic rival Joe Biden is expected in Pennsylvania and Cleveland, Ohio.
We have a president who's given up. I'll never give up, nor will America give up. We'll never wave the flag of surrender. We're going to beat this virus. The truth is, to beat the virus, we first got to beat Donald Trump. He's the virus.
Trump campaign advisor Kayleigh McEnany responds on Fox News.
We reduced the mortality rate by 85%, created a vaccine in record time by the end of the year. Therapeutics that work, the greatest testing system in the world. That's what this president did with the novel virus. What did Joe Biden do with the swine flu? Joe Biden stopped testing, cut off testing, did not deliver a vaccine in time, and survived through the swine flu because of mere fortuity, according to his chief of staff.
USA Radio News.
Now with orders to stay at home, public health concerns, the reality of illness due to pathogens and viruses. Your health is at an all-time high risk. That's why it's critical to take a proactive approach to boost your immune system. You can with new nanocolloidal silver from Americare, our patented process with tiny silver particles, 1/100th the size of a red blood cell, allows for maximum body absorption. Americare's nanocolloidal silver effectively disinfects your body internally, attacking pathogens and viruses while supercharging your immune system. Colloidal silver is antibacterial and antiviral. Simply put, it prohibits bacterial respiration, suffocating viral cells, preventing the virus from replicating. And now, due to public health concern, Americare is authorized to offer our lowest and best price ever, around $1 a day, but supplies are limited. Purchase nanocolloidal silver now at immunesupportnow.com. That's immunesupportnow.com. These statements have not been evaluated by the Food and Drug Administration. This product is not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any disease.
Veterans Helping Veterans USA. Call 352-433-2320. We help veterans and their families with limited financial assistance, counseling, employment referrals, and a food and clothing bank. You can help in making a huge difference in the veteran